Hello guys, welcome back to The Crew 2. Playing for about a month now. That is what we are doing in The Crew 2. That means that according to the statistics here, we have been playing for 7 days and 40 hours and 26 minutes. Not that bad after a bit over a month. We basically have been playing a week in total. Couple of hours a day, more or less, that's what it comes down to. That means activities, everything at 100%, obviously. That not only means that, for instance, in Street Race we have done everything on normal and hardcore mode. They both have a green check. The reason I've done that is pretty simple, because, well, let's give me a little hint that these two different modes here might not be the only ones in the game in the future. So you want to have green checks on these things for whenever it is that another mode might show up. The same goes for drift. Everything green checks in normal and hard, also for the drag, also for the hypercar race, and also for the rival event, which for the street family is the keys to the city. Then we go to the off-road family, sorta the same story. The switch, the rival event, done in normal and in hardcore mode. Rally raid, same story. Motocross, same story. And also rallycross, normal, hardcore for all of the events available. Yeah, the skill tests, you can only do them by reaching an objective, so that is the only green check you're gonna get. And the photo album things, yeah, that's pretty simple. You just need to take the picture to get it done. Now, of course, skill tests, there might be new skill tests in the future. Photo album, there might be new photo album events or things you need to do coming up as well. The same goes for all of these disciplines. New events might show up after a while. Go to the freestyle family. Again, same story. Normal hardcore mode for the mutual benefit, as well for the aerobatic events, which are yeah, in hardcore mode not that easy to do. Some of them are require quite some high points to get. You might have to redo some of them to get the points. Some of them are easy, like 3,500 points. You can get that pretty easy. Some of them are 5,500 or 6,000 points for the hardcore requirement. Jet sprint, on the other hand, yeah, that is pretty simple. You don't even need a fully upgraded car or something to beat the hardcore objective time, which it usually is in these jet sprint things. The same goes for monster truck. Monster truck, you might want to upgrade your vehicle a little bit, but once you know your route and you know where the 5,000 and the 1,000 point markers are, yeah, you can also beat the hardcore mode. Pretty simple. Obviously, more points required than on the normal mode, but nevertheless, it will work like that. And then we have the pro racing left. Also here, beat the Duke, normal and hardcore, green check. Powerboat, same story. And the same goes for all of the other disciplines. Touring car, this is air race, also, and also the Alpha GP, normal and hardcore. So green check marks all over the place. That is more or less for the activities after 1 month. And then we go to the pilot menu, where icon 294, which means that icon points available, almost 100 in each of the categories. So we'll start with that, I guess. Put 25 points on here. Nitro power. Been playing around a bit with these parts, that's why I had to reset them again. Because if you, for instance, if you don't want to do the events and grind it over and over again, you can, for instance, find loot boxes out there. Just fly around with a plane and find loot boxes. Then it is helpful to put 25 points on sensor, 25 points on collector, and then divide the rest on lucky for the loot quality to get some better loot from the loot boxes. Nitro power, nitro refill, also want to put some points on there. What else do we have here? Nitro refills by jump, do we need that? Not immediately, I think. While braking. Nitro power increases, yep, the frenetic, we're gonna put 25 points on that as well. The drifty, yeah, that's if you do drift events. Performing figures, that's more for the plane stuff. So yeah, might end up putting the rest of the points on ventilated for jumps. Off-road events very often have jumps, so monster truck, motocross, that kind of thing. Over here, yeah, it's pretty simple. Put some points on shifty, which is the slipstream. Drag bump, which is more or less the opposite of slipstream, that is when you are ahead of a vehicle, get more speed. The slipstream distance, and then also the opposite of the slipstream distance is the distance detection of the drag. So I'm gonna put 23 or whatever it is that I have left. Yeah, 23. Over here, let's have a look. Aerobatic events, yeah, definitely if you want to beat those scores in hardcore mode, put 25 points on the Magnificent. Increases the scoring for aerobatics. Extreme mode, if you use that extreme mode button, put some points on here if you're doing things with planes. Gifted is for the monster truck scoring, also that one can help if you are doing those more monster truck things in hardcore. Air rotation for monster truck and motocross, and skilled for skill points, and these other two are for the air race. So what I'm gonna put the points on is hot head. Makes the multiplier go up a little bit faster in drift. Slippery increases the multiplier, so you're gonna get a higher multiplier. Skill tests, we're gonna put 25 points on that, get more scoring. And skill tests, and then we have 23 points left. For now, not intending to do anything with planes or so, air rotation, monster truck, motocross, or scoring if you do a monster truck. Let's have a look. I'm gonna put them on graceful for now. And I'm gonna keep them on there. Then we come to the vehicles. Basically bought whatever that I wanted at the moment. That does not mean that I have every single vehicle in the game already. There are a bunch that I didn't really want, like the street race and touring cars. There are so many available. I spent yeah, quite some money on it already. If we're gonna have a look on the stats, not only did we play for a week, but we also apparently gained 17 bucks, which I mainly used to buy whatever car that I wanted, which leaves us down to almost 400,000 now. And yeah, we also have 70,000 crew credits. Where do they come from? Every time you level up in the beginning, the first 4 or 5 levels, you get 10,000 crew credits. So that's 40,000 if you go through the campaign, and the other 30,000 was something you could redeem on Uplay, I think. For 40 Uplay points or something, you could get like 30,000 crew credits. That's where the other 30,000 come from. So 17 million on vehicles, more or less spent. Because yeah, you need to get some stuff. A bunch of those cars were already in the game here from the rewards program from the Crew 1. Now let's have a look on the cars itself. Yeah, but I bought all the bikes already that I do know in the street race, and other than that, just the things that I wanted. The Ferrari F12 Berlinetta is, yeah, I don't know, more or less a bit of a wall riding car from what I make of it, going on the leaderboards where some of these tracks where wall riding is a factor. The Ferrari is not that bad by the looks of it. But they're looking into the wall riding, so that might change over time, hopefully. But yeah, going by the leaderboard, one to have for sure is the Hurricane. So if we go to the performance, we're gonna have a look and see what we have available. 2 purple parts on this one, collision impact and the drag bump, which is sort of the opposite of slipstream, and on this one bulldozer and muddy. Muddy is off-road bumps and deceleration. Actually that is like off-road, not really one you need in speed, so I'm just going to remove that even, although it is a purple part. So I'll put this one on for now. Let's see, what do we have here available. Slipstream distance and rear drag distance. Yep. Only one purple part, so I'm gonna put that one on. And here we have something with bugs. This is something with followers, I think. Frenetic and collector for the live reward to find the loot box. So guess we're gonna go for the extra pump and the ventilated. Here, yeah, it is a purple part, but loot and followers, so not really for racing. And this one is the vehicles avoid tolerance. So yeah, that's even a better part than for racing than the other one. If you're gonna find loot boxes, then you can put that one on, I guess. And here we have a bunch available. Let's have a look. This is also one with loot, not that interesting for racing. Nitro refill, the other one. This is more for bikes. Yep. Bender, the other one is for loot as well. Sensor and skilled, also pointless for racing. Slipstream and radar range for the loot boxes out there. So that might be an option. Bumper and rear drag, that might be probably the best option. Drag bump and bender, and this one is slipstream distance and slipstream power. Put that one on then. Over here, what do we have here? This is again collector and gold finder, pretty pointless for racing. And this is bugs and skill points. Might be an interesting one if you're gonna do skill tests. So we're gonna go with this one, has something to do with racing at least. And yeah, these two are kind of pointless because as already due to the helmet, you can see that it's like both of them are for bikes more or less. But at least this one gives you a little bit power while you are using nitro, more nitro power. So yeah, the bender is pointless, but the other one might do. And that brings the street car at 280. I could put it on full epic because I have a purple part here, but it's kind of pointless. This one is more interesting to put it on there. So we're gonna put this combination on for now. That means we have a bunch of parts available. We'll just make the bike for now, put the other one on 280 green. What's this? Frenetic, okay. This is slipstream, I think. Drag bump, yeah, more or less the opposite of slipstream. And this is frenetic, then collector. Okay, we'll put the collector on then. Again here, this is for loot and followers, so not that interesting. Just put a green part on. Here we have one for the bike. Bike and drag bump, and this one is bike and loot, so we're gonna go for the other one here. This one again is for the loot, collector, for the loot drop and the live reward frequency. That's for the loot boxes out there, so not that interesting. This one is for bugs and skill points, so for the drag bump is the more interesting one then. And here we have a bike bender thing, so we put that one on. So we have a bike at 280 now, and we have a car at 280, and we have a bunch of other parts that we can put on all of these street bars. But yeah, somewhere in between. I've also been doing some designs here and there. Let's have a look. Yeah, not much inspiration for the Hurricane, so I more or less made an Italian flag on it. That's what I did. This is more of a bit of a replica of one of the NASCAR race cars out there. If you go for this, you more or less can find this design. Try to replicate that. There are some other things that I've been playing around with. KTM, not so much options there. Seeing you can't put anything on the side, right side and left side, so everything has to be done on from the top side. So yeah, some lines here and stripes here and there, and Xbox are on the side. More or less the only thing I could find like to put on there. Been about 2 hours on this one, because all those lines needed to be made and so on. Yeah, a bunch of stuff to do. Sort of made a Martini livery on it, as is shown in some of the other videos, and then the Audi, sort of from the Audi TT Cup, the livery. Also that one I kind of made a couple of hours also onto that one before it was actually on there. That's about it, I think, for designs from the street cars. Then we come to the drift. Also that already shown. Also a livery I made. That's the second discipline in street race. And also there we have points. Let's have a look. Drifty, that's always a good one. Put that one on. Frenetic, power increase, also helpful. Definitely that one on. That one on. This is like what other one pro settings I want to know. Yeah, this is for the multiplier indeed. Multiplier as well. Here no other choice to put a green one on. And also here, multiplier up. As you see, I did the video from the drift ones, but since then I haven't touched it anymore because I had to get all the parts in the other disciplines. So I still have to grind for the hot head slippery combination in purple on all of these parts to get the multiplier as high as I can, which apparently is 144 or something like that. What else do we have? Yeah, we have the Nissan 370Z Nismo. So also that I can upgrade. Let's have a look what that bonus is. During a jump, not really needed, so the green part will do. So also made that quickly at 240, so now we have 2 drift cars at the maximum as well. Then we have the drag car. I have the Challenger because it has a bit of a higher top speed than the Stingray, which is the other one that I have. 240 was the maximum for drift, by the way, in case I haven't mentioned that. For the drag it's 400, also there gonna take the Stingray. Let's have a look. What is this? Loot and followers. Not that important, so just a green will do. Slipstream, yeah, that's kinda important. What do we have here? Power increase, also good. Nitro refill and during the jump. Or some slipstream. Distance, I'm gonna go for the slipstream I guess. Green part here. Slipstream and drag detection, that will do. And also here with this. Skill points and nitro refills while braking. Skills points, yeah, you can do some speed traps with the drag of course. Then you might increase the scoring there a little bit. But the speed trap on its own, it's all about the speed that you do on the camera, so not really point based, unless you're gonna do slaloms with the drag car like some people are doing. But we've done that a little bit too much in the crew 1. I'm kind of fed up with that. So this purple part is actually not that important to put on if you're gonna do a drag event. So green will do. And then whatever we have available from 400 parts on the other one. Put that one on. That has to do with nitro. Let's see, what's this? Nitro refill. Yeah, doesn't matter that much in drag, because you can only use it more or less once. Avoid tolerance, also not that important, so green will do. And this one, anything for drag, skills, nitro while braking, no. So also 2 drag cars at 400, which is the maximum level for the drag. Then we come to the hypercars. Yeah, I bought the Regera because you probably have to. Going by the leaderboards, it seems like this thing is the fastest in hypercar. But of course, a lot of testing needs to be done, so one day or another somebody might find a faster car. But we're early in the game, a lot of tests needs to be done, so to be 100% sure. But for this moment in time, leaderboards, most of the leaderboards have the Regera up there. What else do we have? The McLaren P1, which is the rival event ultimate vehicle from Street Family. That's where that thing comes from. I bought the Porsche 918 Spider as well. And I bought the 4GT as well. 2017 that is. Also an older 4GT in the game. And the Ferrari 458 Speciale, which comes from starting up the crew 1 and then more or less guaranteed you this car in this game as a reward. But you just had to start up the crew 1 in the last year or so, and then you had this car. We're gonna put the parts on, yeah, the Regera no matter what. Again, have to go over these bonuses, drifty and slipstream. Yeah, drifting it does enough. Nitro refills while braking. Yeah, probably gonna have to brake with this thing, so put that one on for now. For skill test, not that important, just put the green one on. That has to do with nitro, those lightning symbols, so always that one. This is with slipstream, I think. And then I don't have enough 320 parts on these things yet. At this moment in time, the hypercar events are pretty long events. And so if you have to redo them over and over again, yeah, then you're gonna take some time. Of course you have lateral parts number 2, I think, which is a pretty short one. That's like 3 minutes and a half. But that is pretty short compared to the other hypercar events, which are 15 minutes and the longest one even somewhere between 30 and 45, depending on your driving style, more or less. That being said, hypercar, it's 320. So the Street Family completely upgraded. Hypercar 320, drag 400, the drift 240, and then the street race cars 280 is the level for that one. Which brings us to the off-road family. What do we have in off-road? Rally Raid to begin with. A bunch of bikes I bought there because depends a bit on the track here. It seems to be random at this moment in time. If you go over the leaderboards, sometimes you see the Mercedes X-Class seems to be okay. Porsche 959 seems to work for some. I find it personally a little bit slow here and there, but on other tracks where you have a lot of trees and so the bikes might be optional. So or might be an option, let me put it that way. Got the BMW, got the Ducati Monster, got the Kawasaki KX450, and I got the KTM 450 Rally. Those are the bikes that I have for now. Not sure how much parts I have, I will have a look. Porsche 959, as I said. Some of the leaderboards it shows up, so I bought that thing. Then the Mercedes X-Class you get from doing one of the events. After the event you even get the car, and the rest that I have is from the rewards program, I think. The Wrangler Evo 2, which is sort of the rally rate version. There's also an Evo 1, which is sort of a dirt version, I think. Evo 2 for the Hummer, that's also a rewards program. The Buggy is the starter's car for off-road, you get that for free. The Raptor race truck comes from Deluxe Edition. And that's about all that I have for now. Not so interested in the rally rate, so I just more or less bought what was on the leaderboards, and that was mainly bikes, Porsche 959 and the Mercedes X-Class. Let's see what else. So apparently we have enough 140 parts. So what we're looking for is I think this muddy thing decreases the off-road bumps and deceleration. That's more or less the only thing you have for off-road, unless you the other bonus that might be okay is the one for jumps. Seeing you're bumping all over the place on the off-road, yeah, you can sort of put the jump thing on as well. But for now we will put this one on here. Let's see what else we have here. My lord. Do you have anything for off-road here? Blue part maybe? Nope. Then it's gonna be one of those two. What is this? While drifting and bugs. Not that interesting. Increase the vehicle's avoid tolerance. Yeah, can avoid a lot of trees, I guess. So put that one on for now. Do we have anything off-road here? Not by the looks of it. Unless this one was this. Nope. Refills while braking and loot drop. Not that interesting. This one is for the loot boxes out there to find, and yeah, none of them are interesting, to be honest. We'll just put the box on for now. Box bonus. Get some more bucks from events and stuff like that. What is this shield thing? Increases the collision impact force. Yeah, if you're gonna go some destruction derby or something, then you might end up with a bulldozer thing. And refills while braking. Yeah, I'll put the collision force on in case PvP ever shows up. What is this? For the radar, no, green will do. Here we have an off-road. Put that one on. And what do we have here? Off-road and bugs I see here. Put that one on then. Which brings the level at 140, and that is the maximum level for the off-road things. Rally rate in this case. What are we gonna put? We need a bike as well. Tried the Ducati, didn't handle that well to my but yeah, I need to play around with the pro settings for these bikes because I haven't put those things on yet. So what would be the best part for rally rate on the bikes? Probably bender and muddy. If you can find that combination in Epic, that might help. We have the Mercedes, so we need a bike, I guess. Just gonna use KTM for now, or Kawasaki. Yep. Don't think we have anything for bike specifically. Nope. Just use green. This one here, bender. Put that one on. See, we don't have any other muddies available. Same here. Green will do. What is this? While braking, yeah, with a bike you might want to brake here and there. Sensor, not that interesting for racing, but yeah, it's only 140 we have on this. Probably the last part, the exhaust very often is the last part you find. You get a bunch of these 140s, but just for the exhaust you're missing one. So that's the reason I only have one there. And a bunch of others available. What's this here? Nitro power. And sensor not that important. Nitro power definitely is. And what's this one? While braking we already have that, so we're gonna put the power then. Although the other bonus is pointless, but I think it's this one that we want. Yeah. During the jump. So it's sort of like a lightning symbol and a cloud behind it. That in combination with the muddy bonus, that's probably the best for rally rate. So that will do. Nope. Rally rate we were. Which brings us, yeah, motocross. Pretty simple. There are 4 bikes in the game. I have bought all 4 of them, and 2 of them are the KTM. 1 normal and 1 Red Bull edition, more or less, with a Red Bull sticker on it. No difference other than that. The Suzuki has its highest top speed, but it acts a little bit strange on the jumps of the motocross tracks itself. So I'm guessing for the top speed, the Suzuki maybe. Kawasaki is equally good as the KTM, I think. And the Suzuki, if you have some long straights here or there, the Suzuki might be the better choice, but other than that, they're pretty equally balanced by the looks of it. So we'll just use the this one here. What is this here? Increase the air rotation speed, monster truck and motocross. Okay. Might be an interesting one for motocross. And what we have here, nitro power and slipstream power. Yeah, gonna go for that one. Here we have something with loot, and the other one is off-road. Okay, do that one on. Here we have a bender. That's for the leaning forward bonus. What's this? Box and air rotation. I'm gonna put that one on for now. Air rotation again. Seeing you are hanging a lot in the air, it's not a bad thing to put on a motocross bike, obviously. Here's some more air rotation. And another bender for the bikes. 70, that's the maximum level for motocross bikes. And then let's go for the top speed as well with this one. What's this here? Track. If you're ahead of a vehicle, yeah, put that one on, or air rotation as well. I think we only have one left, so. This one increases the loot quality. Okay, put that one on. Nitro power and game followers. Okay, will do. So always try to find the best bonuses that you have. Nitro power while using it, it will go up, and okay, also this one, this is more for loot. And what's this thing? Avoid tolerance. Now we go for this one. Green part only here, so that's gonna be the green part. And this one is loot drop and sensor. Sensor is for the loot boxes out there, so it's all based on loot. It's kind of pointless for the motocross, so the green will do. And also here we only have green, so that's like the Suzuki and the KTM, a Red Bull edition at 70. Still have some parts over which I can put on the other things. That's the second discipline for off-road, which brings us to the third discipline, rallycross. This thing comes from the rewards program, Ford Focus RS. Been using that sort of to do the events on normal. And then I have been looking at the leaderboards again, and then you saw a couple of the Lancias show up till people started using the Citroën, and that's probably for now at least the best one, or at least the best handleable, although the both of the Lancias are good as well. Delta S4 and the Rally 037, those are the things that I bought for now. There are some more cars available, but yeah, already have more than enough cars in my garage. I would actually not mind selling a few here or there. or putting them somewhere else, because if you have to go through this list here to find something, that's already a mess. So that's only going to be worse if you buy every single car. There are some filters here. I can, for instance, select the filter and then go for the discipline, and if I only choose Rallycross, yeah, you're only going to see the Rallycross cars. So that of course helps a lot. So 230 is the maximum. What's this thing here? While drifting and collision impact force. Not that bad of a part. There are better parts available, but seeing you are in Rallycross, it's a bit rough at times, especially with a couple of cars on the track, narrow track. So here we don't have anything. Then some box increase, always handy. Here we have off-road and nitro refill, and this one is nitro while drifting. We will do the off-roading then. And here we have, what's this? Loot and drag bump. Not that interesting, so just put the box on again. More bucks from each event. And here we have bucks again and frenetic. That's a power increase. Nitro refills during the jump. Yeah, I'm gonna put that one on in that case, because also in the Rallycross you have some jumps here and there. So while you're in the air, the nitro refills if you put that thing on. What's this here? Bumper void tolerance. Yeah, might be a handful. And this is during the jump. Gonna put that one on. And here we have all kind of nitro stuff. So it's a bit of a matter of finding the one you want, I guess. Nitro refill speed and nitro refill during the jump. It's not a bad part. And this one is nitro power and nitro refills during the jump. So power and jump. That's probably the best one, I guess, for Rallycross. Which brings the level at 230, maximum level for Rallycross. What else are we gonna use? Delta S4, not that bad, but it was sliding a little bit. But the focus was not that bad either. So this one were acting a little bit strange, but I have to maybe play around a little bit with the pro settings to keep it better under control. This is more of a drifting car, have some fun with or something, but it doesn't matter that much because the Citroën is mostly the one that we're going to use, I think. So I'll just put this one on 230 green. Now we can make one more. So yeah, then it's going to be the Delta. Box. Green here. Some bonuses on it. Box here as well. More gains more. What's this? Avoid tolerance. Also interesting. And this one is also a good one. Bit of a mix: green, blue, purple, and the main car being the Citroën C3. Rallycross, Rally Raid, Motocross. That means we have done the off-road. The fourth thing in there, or the ultimate vehicle, is the helicopter, but that you cannot upgrade. And now I have put that damn filter on, of course. That needs to go. The helicopter is, at this moment in time at least, not considered to be a discipline yet, so that means that if we go to the performance menu, it's grayed out. It comes with a level 50 and that is it. So at this moment in time it's not a discipline, so we can also not win parts for it. Maybe over time, I don't know, some transport missions or something that they come up with, and then might also show up with some other helicopters and make it a discipline. I don't know. I don't see it at this moment in time for what it could be. Which brings us to the freestyle family, the third family. That means jet sprint boats. 1, 2, 3, 4 available in the game. All under the Proto brand. Prototypes, more or less things that Ivory created themselves, so they don't have to worry about brand licensing and something. The helicopter, for instance, is also Proto. Alpha GP Formula 1 car is also Proto. The hovercraft is Proto as well, and also the jet sprint boats. The Proto Hornet, the Proto Brawler, the Proto Sportsman, I don't know, NZ edition, New Zealand edition, I have no idea what the NZ stands for, and the Proto Leopard. This one worked pretty good, so we're gonna use this one. 120 is the maximum level. We do have the parts. What is a good part for a void tolerance? Yeah, probably. Don't even know. Is something specific for the boats? During the jump, refills. Yeah, there's the other two bugs and loot related. So jump. Yep, definitely, because you get some ramps here and there. This is nitro power and nitro refill, I think. So, yep, definitely need some power here and there. Void tolerance we already have on. And what is this? Wild drifting. Yeah, totally useless in the boat. So, gonna go for the void tolerance, I guess. Have some bonus on it. And then here we have for skill points. Pretty interesting. If you do the boy skill testings. And again, a void tolerance. But I think there are some for the boat though. This has to do with the finding loot boxes. Not that interesting. This is loot quality. And this is bugs and loot drop. Okay, we'll go for that one, I guess. Not that interesting parts for the boat specifically. Although there are some... and they're also not in the icon points overview thing there. Not really specific anything for the jet sprint. That's why you made a combination of yourself, more or less. 120 jet sprint upgraded. Second category is monster truck. What do you have for monster truck? A bunch of cars available if you want, but I didn't bother with it. The Grand Cherokee comes from the rewards program. I did buy the Skyline because that's usually one of the better ones in the Crew 1 next to the Ford Raptor, so that's the reason why I bought it. And the Abarth comes from the deluxe edition thing. Made the design on this one though, played around a bit with that for an hour or whatever, and then also used this one to do most of the events, because yeah, I started with this thing, but it just was lacking power all over the place. And then going to the events and putting parts on it and upgrading it that way, the Abarth was a better choice because it has more power stock as it is without any parts. Some of the things you could not even reach with the Cherokee. That's why I used the Abarth. But yeah, it is. If you throw it around a little bit, you very often end up on your roof because it's a bit too small. So probably gonna go, if I have enough parts, gonna go for the Abarth and the Skyline. We're gonna start with Skyline to begin with. Yeah, by the looks of it, we have enough parts. What is this here? Off-road. The rest are all related to Nitro. This one is Nitro Power. That's a pretty good one. This one, the Nitro refills when performing figures. Yeah, that's if you wanna play around with backflips and so. I'm gonna keep that one for the Abarth. And this one is while braking. That's totally useless. We're not braking, so we're gonna put Nitro Power on it. What is this thing? This seems to be increase the scoring by monster truck. Yeah, that's probably the best you can get. Gonna get more points from the gifted. And if you're gonna go to the monster truck thing and the arenas and you're gonna score there, also put 25 points on the gifted in the pilot icon points thing, of course. What What else? What's this here? Monster truck scoring again. Yeah, no doubt about it. If you're in a monster truck, you want to have that thing on, if you have it. Here also monster truck scoring. Yep. Get a certain percentage more points. This is also something. Air rotation, also handle. So probably air rotation and monster scoring points will be like the perfect part for the monster truck, I guess. Just don't have it, of course. So we want a personal part with this bonus on it, and then with this one, the right one of these two as well. That's probably your best shot. What is this here? When performing figures. Yeah, the other one is for loot. At least one bonus which you can more or less use. 140 maximum level for the monster truck, which makes us... Oh. Performing figures, I'm gonna keep that one. And here we have the choice between graceful and collision impact. And this is graceful and resourceful while braking. We're gonna go for the collision impact in case. The other bonus is the same on both parts, so here this has to do with loot, so green will do here. Do we have anything else here? What's this? Skill points? Yeah, some kinds. You could use maybe the skill things while braking. It's also not that interesting. When performing figures, okay, put that one on. During the jump, also interesting. A lot of in the air time with the monster truck. Jump again here, put that one on. This is for skill points, yeah. Don't have anything else available, so bit of a mix on that one. And then I think we can even put the with more than enough green parts available. Can even make the Cherokee to 140, I think. And I still have a bunch of parts available, but yeah, there are also still a bunch of monster trucks that you can buy. But for now, I will do it with these three. The hovercraft will be a discipline in September, of course, so that will be like upgradable from that moment. At this moment in time, they are not upgradable, but it is the ultimate vehicle in the freestyle family. But next to the jet sprint boat and the monster truck, we also have planes. Aerobatic planes in freestyle. We have the Zivco Edge, which is more or less the starter's plane you get by unlocking the freestyle family headquarters. The Slick thing, yeah, it's a pretty small plane, and that's the reason I bought it in air race, and it works pretty good. I've done most of the campaign thing with the air race vehicle with this little Slick. That's the reason why I bought it again for the aerobatic, because all of these planes have an aerobatic freestyle family and an air race pro racing family, and both of those planes are more or less the same, less of course a bit slower or a bit faster depending on the family. What else do we have? The Harmon rocket, that is the thing that I actually bought first. That's where I did the aerobatic events with. Only yesterday or so I bought this Slick because I used that in air race. But I did all the events both on normal mode and hardcore mode with this little Harmon rocket thing. The Waco is the Icon 200. If you reach Icon 200, you unlock this vehicle. You get it for free. You can purchase it in advance. If you do that and you reach the Icon 200, you get a refund from your box. But I didn't do that. I waited till I had the thing. And the Supermarine Spitfire Mark 9 Aerobatic Edition is Season Pass exclusive. And then we have... No, That's the only one, because the other two are air race planes. That's for later. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 available, and we're gonna use the smallest ones. So yeah, we'll start with this one and see what we have. What do we have here? Special bonuses for the yeah, aerobatic events scoring points. It's the magnificent bonus. That's sort of a circle with an arrow underneath it. So if we have that available, we're gonna put that on the plane. Only green here, green here, and as you can see, 220 is the maximum part. This one is let's have a look. Followers and skills. Yeah, there are skill tests about for aerobatic planes, so increasing scoring on the skills, also interesting. And this one is magnificent again. Other than that, a bit of a combination that we have found. Don't have that many parts available, so I'm gonna put the others on the slick. See if we can make that 220. Oh, already missing here. Exhaust again. Very often that was like the last one that we could find. So I find another 220 green exhaust. Then I can put it on here, and then also this plane is on the maximum. So, but this one is on the maximum, so we can use this for now. And that sort of rounds up the freestyle family. Moving to pro racing, the last family, and seeing we are in the planes, we will start with that. 220 for aerobatics, and for air race, again this little slick, and then we have the Pilatus PC-21, is deluxe edition plane that came with it, but it's yeah, it doesn't react that fast. It's a pretty slow plane, and you have like strange feeling looking at the nose. The nose seems to be too long to I don't know. It was a strange plane. I immediately went into the HQ and I bought this little slick, at least on this driver. On my other driver I just bought the Zivco. That also works pretty fine, but this is a little bit smaller, a bit better to maneuver around with, so that's what I did or used for air race. 270 is the maximum level for the pro racing. This is to gain followers. Yeah, always, if you're interested in getting the highest icon available, you can always use that thing. Other than that, it is air race. There are a few specific bonuses for air race though. This is the extreme mode, so that's like increases if you use the extreme button. This one is gateway. That is if you do a perfect gate in the air race events, your nitro refills. And this one is probably the most interesting one of all. Perfectionist. It increases the gate angle allowance, so you're gonna get like easier the perfect gate if you put this one on. Let's see, but I already see we have a combination here of perfectionist and frenetic, so this is a double bonus. We're gonna use that one. So I'm guessing the best one for this specific thing is the gateway thing, and then the perfectionist. Those two on the purple part, then you probably have the perfect part for the air race planes. But we don't have that. We have a bit of a combination of loot and then, so we're gonna go for the gateway thing, I think. What do we have here? Again, the gating, and here, what is this? Gateway and pure nitro power, also handful. Also here a bit of a mix, green, purple and blue. And that brings the level to 70. That's for the planes. What else do we have? Boats, of course. Power boats. What do we have available? This is the starters thing that you get by unlocking the freestyle, the pro racing family. Then you can get this boat. What else do we have? The Blade Runner 35, that is a Season Pass exclusive vehicle. That's where that comes from. And the rest are things that I bought. The M31 wide body I bought. And the Frauscher Demon I bought. And then do you have also from this Proto Offshore Mark 1 you also have a Mark 2, but that is Icon 400 I think. If you reach Icon 400 you unlock that. That's why I did not buy it. I sort of want to set a goal and I don't buy the Icon rewards. I also don't understand why you can buy them in advance. The Icon 600 LaFerrari is locked. You cannot buy that one in advance. That I find a good thing. Then you sort of have a goal to go for. But I don't understand why they unlocked 100, 200, 300, 400 and 500 to just buy them in advance. And then when you reach it you get your money back. But I don't know. In my opinion all these Icon 100 level rewarded vehicles, they should have been locked until you actually reached it. But yeah, it is what it is. And then of course the Vector V40, which is a bit of a strange boat. I thought it was going to be the best, but doesn't seem to be the case. By the looks of it, this Offshore Mark 1 or maybe the Mark 2, although as a starter boat, but it seems to be like the pretty easiest to handle and also the best one. Because like this one doesn't have that much power or top speed. I think this one is actually faster, which is strange. So we're gonna make this one, what is the maximum level? 250. Do we have anything for boats? We will see. Skill points, are there? Yeah, there are slaloms which you can do with a boat. Power increase frenetic, and this one is totally useless I think. Life reward frequency, yeah, that's if you're gonna look for loot boxes, that is a good one, so we'll just work with this one here for now. What do we have here? It's kind of pointless. Loot quality, loot drop, all about loot. Power increase frenetic, don't use that much. Guess we're gonna go for the loot quality. Get some purple parts if we do some more events, and then we can put those things on. Pretty simple here. Green, green, green. This is a radar. This has to do with nitro, so put the nitro on. And this is loot and no, followers and nitro, so we put that one on. That's one boat. This is just like, haven't driven this thing, but seems just something strange to begin with. But I did the events with the with this one though, so we'll just also make that one 250. Was a good one. What do we have here? Followers, nitro. We'll just go for the nitro. Not that interesting. The super high icon. We'll get there eventually to the 600, and all the rest is not important. That's a loot bonus, that one, and that's just put it on green. So 2 boats at 250, that will do for now. What else do we have? Pro racing, 2 more I think, yeah. Formula 1, I bought the Proto Alpha Mark II because it's a little bit better than the Red Bull RB13, which is the other vehicle. There are only 2 vehicles at this moment in this category. So for this moment it's pretty simple. Put on whatever that is what we have. Yeah, this one is completely useless. Off-road bonus for a Formula 1 car. Just put the green one on. Here again, off-road. Why on earth? This is loot. This is off-road and something else. Let's have a look. Off-road and bulldozer. So we're gonna go for this one, I guess. Nitro refills while braking. You occasionally brake in a Formula 1 car. And the other one is drag bump, which is sort of the opposite of slipstream. If you're ahead of a vehicle, you can gain some speed. So yeah, definitely this one on. Now we still have some 340 parts available, but I don't have enough bucks at the moment to buy the Red Bull. Once I do, I will already have part for it. So that's number 3, which leaves us with the touring cars. The Mercedes 300 SLR is one of the events. Just like in the off-road, if you finish the event, you get the car also with this touring car thing. The Raptor is a rewards program. I haven't even driven that thing. It was the only thing you had when you came into the game from the rewards program as a touring car, but I didn't did 1 mile in it or 1 kilometer in it. I immediately bought cars. Yesterday I've been looking around. What did I make from this pre-order bonus? If you pre-ordered the game, this was the bonus, the Mercedes C63 2016, sort of DTM version, and that's also what I made of it. I made this livery myself, sort of a replica of a DTM car. So that's the car that I also used to do most of the touring car events. But yeah, then you look at the leaderboard and then it turns out you need a few other things. There are a few things that I just wanted to buy, like the little Mini here. Was a pretty good one in the Crew 1, so let's say for nostalgic reasons that I bought this thing. The MX-5 touring car was the 3-year anniversary of the Crew 1 gift, more or less. That's why I bought it here as well. Porsche new into the game, also had to have the 911 GT3 Cup. McLaren 12C, also something I wanted. The Saleen, not really something that I wanted, but apparently it's one of the better touring cars out there. So I had to get it, but I was already not a big fan of the Saleen and the handling in the Crew 1, so I'm assuming it's gonna be more or less the same in this game. The same goes for this one, but also this one seems to be like one of the top 3 touring cars, the MC12 Maserati, so also had to buy that one. This one is also not bad, the Aston Martin Vulcan, ultimate vehicle from the Pro Racing. If you beat the Duke, you get this thing, that's where it comes from. And then of course, from the July update, the Ferrari FX6K, which is, in my opinion, probably one of the best touring cars out there. It's just like, yeah, top speed wise and so, it might be a bit of a problem to catch up with this Maserati in some of the corners, bit top speed wise with the Saleen probably, and it goes on like that. So probably the Saleen, the Maserati and the Ferrari, and you're good to go if you have those 3. That's more or less what you can make of it, I think. And the others, Vulcan is also not that bad, but yeah, it is a bit long though if you want to play around with that thing. And the rest is like yeah, more personal reasons or nostalgic reasons, like this little thing. What's the maximum level? 320, of course. You want to have some parts on it. What is this here? Avoid tolerance? Yeah, whatever. It's some bonus. The other one is a green one. Box. Okay, we'll take the box. This is more slipstream or drag, and this is nitro refill. We'll put that one on. Nitro power. Yeah, definitely. Not much purple about yet. Off-road, here we come again. An off-road bonus on a touring car. Totally pointless. I'm just gonna put the green one on. Here again, the off-road part. What is this here? While drifting, yeah, some of the touring cars turn out to be a little bit drifty, but not even that good. And the other one is off-road. That's yeah, also totally useless. I'm even gonna remove that. I mean, off-road in a touring car. Yeah, unless you go off the track, of course. Yeah, I'll put this one on for now, but we need some better parts than this. Also here, sensor and slipstream. Yeah, slipstream, okay. And this one, nitro power while using the nitro, and the other one is for followers. Yeah, both of them go, I guess. Put this one on for now. So 320, again, a bit of a mix. Need some more purple parts with some better combinations. What else are we gonna put? Maserati. Totally not a fan of it, but yeah, even less from the Saleen. So I'm just gonna make the Maserati for now, my second touring car. on maximum level at least. What's this here? Drag bump ahead of a vehicle. Yeah, here we have to go for the off-road, since we have no other choice. It's the only part we have left. So we need some more ports in touring car. And that sort of, yeah, more or less concludes it, like after 1 month of playing. Well, not exactly. Because there's still one thing I need to do. And that's why I just upgraded all of these vehicles. All green check marks here and there. Normal, hard, normal, hard. We've been over it in the beginning of the video. But not so much in the Live Extreme. Live Extreme number 2, 3, 4, 5 in the grand finale. I only done those things on normal. So we have to do all of those. So I'm gonna change the difficulty on all of them. Also something which is a bit of annoying, that you have to do that every time. You go offline, you come back the next day or 2 days later or in the weekend or whatever, and you, although you might have it on hard like I have it now, it will be back on normal, so you have to, doesn't save. Game seems to have a little bit of an issue here and there with saving things. The same goes for the cars in your garage, for instance. You display the cars that you want to display, the next day you come online and those things are back to whatever cars that were there from the beginning. But they're working on it, so yeah, step by step I guess. So what are we gonna do to finish up this live stream? Sorta was an overview over what I reached here in about 1 month of playing. We're gonna finish this up and get these last 5 green check marks and do the Live Extreme Series 2, 3, 4, 5 and the grand finale in hardcore mode and see if we can beat all of these things. So we will start with number 2. Haven't paid attention to what it is, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in and we switch the vehicle. So it now wants us to select the thing for street. We can choose the BMW bike or the Hurricane, because the other ones were not fully upgraded. So we'll go for the Hurricane, I guess. Apparently we also need a power boat, so we will go for the Offshore Mark 1, and we also need a rally raid vehicle. What have we upgraded? Can't even remember. Did we do a bike? Oh, apparently I upgraded the Kawasaki bike, but I think it's in the swamp area, so I'm guessing the Mercedes will do just fine for now. Off we go. Live Extreme number 2 in hardcore.
Welcome to the Gulf Coast, where we're getting ready for the second stop on the Live Extreme Tour. Last time we hit the city streets. This time we're also going to go wild. We've got some giant spectators for this part of the course, and they're getting some giant-sized action. We're seeing the best from our drivers now, the moment when they're upping their game. It's going to be a gladiator match out there. And now for the big moment. It's time for us to switch up the competition. And it's up and over the ramp and into that beautiful blue water. At Live, we're proud of giving you races no one else can. Drivers must master it all or be left behind. They've got just one shot at being the best. Time's running out for our drivers to make a move on the water. Now let's get our hands dirty. We're now in the last section of the race. Here's where drivers can choose to follow the road or cut through the swamp and play in the mud. The choice is theirs. Now that's confidence, letting the other drivers set the pace for the moment.
Very nice. Very nice. One mistake or another, and I still almost managed to beat it. Although I didn't. And seeing it's on hardcore, you need more than a top 3. You actually need to win it.
Welcome to the Gulf Coast, where we're getting ready for the second stop.
But the problem
on the
I had,
Live Extreme
as
Tour.
very often,
Last time we hit the city streets.
seeing the damn
This
thing
time,
is
we're
grayed out
also
on
going
keyboard
to go
settings.
Wild.
We can't change the linearity or the dead zone, and half of these cars are unsteerable on narrow roads like in the beginning, or on the off-road. And then you have to play around with the pro settings, and that's all fine, but it would help if we could just change the linearity and the dead zone a little bit more. Here it reacts as stiff as a handle. Okay, so what do is we change the view. Because that's the only thing that seems to be more or less drivable.
got some giant spectators for this part of the
Shortcut
course,
here and
and
there.
they're getting some giant-sized action. We're seeing the best from our drivers now, the moment when they're upping their game. It's going to be a gladiator match out there.
Also very interesting to see is the acceleration on those cars, of those AI rubber banding. They're in no man's land after the boat race usually, and then they suddenly out of nowhere disappear and appear again,
And
disappear
now for the
and
big
appear again,
moment.
whole time
It's
like
time
that.
for us to switch up the competition.
Let's expand the minimap a bit. It's like one guy is following you, the other two are a bit behind. Don't take the jumps if you can avoid it, because they only slow you down. This one, yeah.
And it's up and over
More or
the
less
ramp
can
and
go
into
next to
that
it if you want, but-
Beautiful blue water. At Live, we're proud of giving you races no one else can. Drivers must master it all or be left behind. They've got just one shot at being the best.
You can see on the minimap they're like nowhere,
Time's
After
running
the boat
out
race?
for our drivers to make a move on the water.
but not out of the woods yet. Because we'll switch to the off-road vehicle here, and then I'm pretty sure they will come back.
Now let's get our hands dirty.
Also here, that switch, I don't know. Always either I hit the car on the left as in the first race, or I hit
We're now in the last section of the
the
race.
house, because
Here's where
it's still
drivers
switching
can choose to follow the road or
before
cut
you
through
can
the
actually,
swamp and play in the mud. The
get
choice is
control
theirs.
of the car. So you sort of have to do it with the boat. Here he is again. Out of nowhere they appear suddenly.
Thanks for watching the second
If you
race
don't
of
hit
the
too many
Live Extreme
mangroves or
Series.
tree
Don't forget
roots
to
or
follow us
whatever,
on social media. From
should
New
be able to
Orleans,
get it.
Thank you, and we'll see you next time.
Unless you make mistakes yourself, of course. Like I sort of showed in the first race. And even in the second race I made some mistakes, but not that. First half you can make whatever mistakes you want. They sort of wait of you on you if you're ahead. And you hit something and then they take over, and instead of getting away, they more or less wait on you till you are back. But if you're ahead the whole time, then they get the rubber banding into play, and yeah. But that's all not that important for the moment. But it is something they need to look into, because it needs to be more balanced. Green check mark, done. Live Extreme Series number 3. Let's see what we need. Jet sprint, motocross and touring car. Okay, we'll pick that once we go in there. Switch the vehicles. Yeah, this one will do. Motocross. We will pick this one. The ones we have upgraded. Touring car. The Ferrari for sure. Change the view.
It's time for some of those California dreams to come true, as proven racers and ambitious newcomers battle it out in the third stop of the Live Extreme Series. It's non-stop action like you've never seen it before. Do you like speed? We've got it. Do you want to see jet sprint boats zipping their way through twisty passages? We've got that too. Do you like supercars on the streets of Los Angeles? Have we got something for you? Time for some pure speed there. And those cruise ship passengers are getting quite the view. Let's see what they have ready for us next. Are you kidding me? From a boat to a roof and from a roof to the ground. Now there's a leap of faith for you. And now over the river and onto a port full of containers. Those guys have no fear. They're gunning it as they head toward the home stretch of this section. For the final leg, let's go all out. It's not every day you get to see these kind of cars going full throttle along the LA River. Viewers, remember, you can vote on social media to tell us who, according to you, is the driver of drivers in this year's Live Extreme Series. It's the last stretch of this race, a very technical section where drivers must keep their focus. From sunny California, this was the third race in the Live Extreme Series.
As rumbling as it was in the first
Plenty
one,
of racers are making a case for why
as
they
easy as
should
it
be
was in
crowned
this
head of
one.
the series. So keep following us and your favorite drivers. We'll see you at race number 4.
The jet sprint, the AI is just not good enough, so you already take in the first part of this more or less transformer race, you take off and you don't see the AI anymore. It's as simple as that. So also that should be checked out, I think. At least I hope so. Live Extremes, yep. Green check mark also on that one. Which leaves us with number 4, 5 in the grand finale. Street race, powerboat, rallycross. Okay. We go in and we change the vehicles. Let's take the bike this time. We need the powerboat. Let's take this time the Vector, and of course the Citroen as our rallycross.
Things are about to get rocky for our racers as they take on the American Southwest for series stop number 4. Will the rookie, who's come out of nowhere, continue their dominance? Or will the established stars regain their shine? Get ready to find out.
It's all a bit in the snow, so might be a bit of a problem with the bike in the beginning, but
for this race, the Grand Canyon is under snow. That may surprise our non-American viewers, but you should know that this isn't an unusual sight. The Grand Canyon has a microclimate of its own, one that will test our drivers' reflexes and skills.
it's slippery with the bike.
It's a tight race so far. Anyone could jump into the lead. That's impressive driving, ladies and gentlemen. As we switch from asphalt to dirt, it'll be interesting to see if it changes things up. Or are our drivers so skilled they won't even notice the difference? about we make some legends?
You got a strange view with this boat. Nose is a bit up too high occasionally if you're leaning backwards or trimming.
Get a load of that scenery. This racecourse is magnificent. I have no idea how the competitors keep their focus in such a spectacular setting. This is some exceptional racing, folks. Live, the best camera system on the market, is proud to bring you Event 4 of this season's Extreme Series. Live. Track, record, share. Let's put our racers to the test along the Colorado River. We're about to enter a difficult portion of the race. There's a lot of tight curves, rocks narrow the passage, and it's a long way down with no guardrails. And that's even before we take into consideration the loss of grip created by the snow. It calls for careful technical driving. This bridge indicates we're coming up on the finish line. Racers, if you want to make a move, it's now or
Too
never.
much sliding.
From the Grand Canyon, thanks to all of you for watching the live Extreme Series test the skills of the world's best racers. Keep on following us on social media, and watch out. Race number 5 is going to be a doozy.
Bit too much sliding here and there, but we managed to get it. Which of course should not be a problem normally. There's an intermediate scene that you occasionally get, that is if it changes the daytime or the weather or stuff like that. Other than that, what are the parts that we got? I think for the powerboat probably. No. What else did we use? Street race? I don't know. We'll have a look at that later. Let's have a look. Green, 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 green. Which leaves us with number 5 and the grand finale. Probably the two hardest ones. Number 5, Hypercar is going to be a bit of a problem in the woods in the beginning. Switching to the Alpha GP should be able to keep up there, and then the jet sprint, where normally the AI is not strong enough. You should win this one in the last part, I think. Can't remember what we exactly made. We only did the Regera in Hypercar, I think. I'm gonna switch the vehicle and have a look. Did we put anything else on 320? Not by the looks of it. Okay, so we have to take this one gear piece of wonder or whatever. Also here Alpha GP, and we take our King Proto Leopard, because that's the only one we upgraded, I think.
We're
Changing
in
the time
upstate
again.
New York for race number 5 in the Live Extreme Series. And boy, have we got a twist for you. We're going to show you some familiar territory in a whole new way.
That'll be interesting with the one gear wonder in the beginning in the woods, because also that one does not handle that well with the keyboard. I think we can't change the linearity in that zone.
Live Tough Cameras for the Toughest Conditions is proud to present one of the most exhilarating races on the circuit. And it may be exhilarating, but it's also as tough as our cameras. To make it to the finish line on this one, you have to be among the best. The good news is, that is exactly what we have for you today. The best.
Here are the rammers. Okay.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that even if he's just in striking distance of the lead now, you're still watching our next champion.
Driving levels. No clue where you're going. That's why we need the GPS line, Mr. Fergus. No, he wants us to
They're heading
experience
across
the world.
the covered bridge. The most modern cars in the world thundering their way across an antique. Now that's what I call a spectacle.
Let's downshift. Oh no, that's not possible. It only has one gear. Looks of it. Setup is also not fully away. Oh yes, ring check.
Seems like someone really wants to be on top of things. Is that the Big Apple we see in the distance? Well now, at this speed, our drivers will be taking a bite out of it in no time at all.
But of course, once you have a long straight,
Time to take
you're up
things
in
to
this
the
thing.
next level. Now that's something you don't get to see every day. Open wheel racing in the heart of New York City. Also, no traffic at all.
crash cam on a plastic checkpoint.
What a ride, ladies and gentlemen. What a ride. Round and round they go. Let's make a splash with our grand finale. Be careful not to get dizzy now, because this next section in Central Park has a lot of curves, and they're all tight ones. What a place to host the finest in jet sprint racing. What a place, folks. Just look at the view, because our pilot sure can. Time for our racers to really pour it on. Once again, coming to you from New York, the city that never sleeps. And who could sleep after the excitement we just witnessed? Thank you for tuning in to the Live Extreme Series Episode 5, and we'll see you one more time for the season finale.
As expected, a little bit of a problem with the hypercar, not so much with the Formula 1 car, and definitely not the jet sprint. Yeah, it's just not strong enough in the jet sprint. Other than that, GPS line required. Mr. Fergus. Which leaves us with one more thing to do, to uncheck, or to check. And that is the Extreme Series Grand Finale in Hardcore mode, where we more or less have to beat the 4 champions that we already beaten in the headquarters once again, but then in one race. Rallycross, Hypercar, Jet Sprint and Alpha GP to finish it up and to have everything green checked and done. Switching the vehicles. Let's have a look. Rallycross, yep. We're gonna use the Hyper. Yeah. We have no other choice than to use those because we only upgraded that one thing there, so.
Welcome, folks, to the grand
Weather or
finale of
time
the Live
changing
Extreme
again?
Series. We're here in Northern California for the most important race of the year. This is the big one, where the top drivers in Motor Nation take on their biggest rivals to see who really reigns supreme.
You want to rule Motor Nation? You're gonna have to earn it right here. I guess champion of it all is the only thing you'll settle for. All right, let's see if you still got it. Looks like you've still got it. You're not gonna just hand it to me that easy, are you? Don't think I'm gonna take it easy on you just because I like you. Well, hot damn, this is one heck of a race.
You got past me once, not again. I'll get my payback now. There's no way I'm letting you take another crown.
Jeez, it's kind of personal with this guy, isn't it?
This time, I'm not holding anything back.
Push it to the limit, darling.
You know I always do. I see you've been practicing.
Not really.
No points, no tricks, just you and me in a flat-out race. And it's about time. time to hold back.
Allow me to correct the mistake that was made before. It will be my pleasure to deny you this championship.
Clarence, you're just a sore loser.
No, I'm a great driver, as I'm about to remind your former prodigy. Out for a leisurely drive, are we?
Not sure what he's gonna show me, seeing he was about 2 kilometers behind.
There you have it, folks. A new champion who came from nowhere to take it all and be crowned head of Motor Nation. We took a moment to speak to those who know our champion best to get their thoughts.
Once again, we made it to Motor Nation champion. This time in hardcore mode. Also, once again, we have a steering wheel facing to the right side, although our wheels are straight. A little bit of a bug if you come out of the steam. As in more of these ultimate races I have noticed. Get parts for Rallycross this time. Okay, whatever. But it does mean that Keys to the City is green, everything else is green. Off-road, everything green. Freestyle, everything green. Pro Racing, everything green. And now also in the Live Extreme. Normal and hard mode checked. For now, at least. Because more events can be expected in different disciplines. Probably due to feedback, they know which are the disciplines that we like the most, and probably they will start with those things. Get some more events here and there. And then probably also in this Live Extreme series, Season 1 they say, and number 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 episodes, and then the grand finale. I'm assuming there will also be a Season 2 and 3 and 4 and so on later on in the game. As for all of these different disciplines in the different racing families, whether it's street race, off-road, freestyle or pro racing, also there in certain disciplines new events will come. Of course we have the hovercrafts that will show up as a new discipline. Also there of course new events will come. No events and such like things like that you can expect every 3 months, and other than that we have the monthly updates, which is mainly some vehicles that we have gotten. Of course in July it was the Ferrari FXXK, which will be released one of the next days, I think. As a season pass holder, I got this thing for free 1 week early. When did it? I think it was last week Wednesday. So probably tomorrow they will release this vehicle, and I believe it's available for $800,000 for normal players to buy it. And for the people who had the season pass, the thing was free. 1 week early access, sort of what you get to it. But compared to other games, it's not a pay to win or anything. It's because you can get the vehicles as it is. The other thing that they brought for July was, of course, in street. Where is the thing? The KTM Expo R. Pretty fun car to drive around with. And also cockpit view, not bad. What of a go-karting here. Of course, also a bit of darkness here and there, but they are working on it. Apparently the problem did not really seem what they thought it was. So they are working on the headlights, and apparently they're making pretty good progress. So we will see when they actually patch that. That's something to do not only with the light itself, but also with the darkness of the night, and if they sort of can find the balance between that, we will actually be able to see a little bit more. It's not that bad if you put it, like for instance, on the hood cam, and you go into the woods, for instance, you pretty much get some light reflections and you actually see where you're going. But the biggest problem, of course, is in cockpit view. Now this is an open car, it's more or less okay, but if it's a closed car, yeah, then you don't always see where you're going, especially in the woods in the middle of the night. But also that is something that they are working on. Other than that, I'm gonna stop the stream here because yeah, we're sort of done with it. The other thing we need to do now is do more events, I guess, to get more parts so that we can upgrade different vehicles and don't have to switch the parts between all the different vehicles all the time. See, we have the thing at maximum level. I'm not sure about this one though. Did we put it on 280? I don't think so. But I have parts available though. For most of these things, I think I have for street race I can upgrade like 4 or 5 cars. I just did the BMW bike and the Hurricane earlier to upgrade it. So those things are on 280. The bikes, do not underestimate them in this game, because it's not the RRP, like some people, oh, they are too powerful. No, they are not too powerful. They have a great acceleration, but top speed is not so great. So the cars have more top speed. So yeah, Hurricane, some other cars are topping the leaderboards, but different bikes. This BMW, the Ducati Panigale, the MV Agusta, are also in the leaderboards mix. So the bikes, for sure, it's a bit more balanced between cars and bikes. So that's for street race, and also in off-road. It's a bit of a mix between cars and bikes, depending a little bit on the track. There's only one buggy, well, it's not a buggy, but it's a bit bugged car, and that's the Nissan 370Z. In the swamp area, it does not lose speed. So a lot of people are using, in events in the swamp area, in the bayou area, they are using the 370Z there. Although it's not the best raid car, but yeah, it is there because it's the only one who does not lose speed in the swamps. But also that is something they know of. They probably will fix it over time. But those are not the priorities. The priorities at this moment are on all those AFK farmers and those idiots topping the leaderboards with their few thousand icon points. They won't be there forever, so that will be fixed later on as well. As for now, everything done, all the events done, all the disciplines upgraded to the max. It's just a matter of getting a bit more parts so that we can upgrade several cars in each of the disciplines. But each of the disciplines at the moment are upgraded. I just need some more parts here and there. And then I can do some liveries and do some other stuff. The other problem that I have is for like making videos as I was doing in the Crew 1 is time. Time as a result, more specifically. Seeing after these races, you get leaderboards with the best time you ever done on a certain track. That will appear in the leaderboard, but that's the only thing that will appear. So if you do a certain track with different car and you are slower, you have no idea what exact time you did, because it doesn't give you a time after the thing. Yeah, for PvP that will not be a problem, because those will have result screen, but those events here, that's a bit of a problem. As for testing itself, we don't have something like Free Drive Challenge or some race track editor thing like we more or less had in the Crew 1, where we could create our own race and put some checkpoints so that we actually could test several vehicles on the same track, and we have a result screen afterwards with the exact time that we did with that car or bike. That would make it way more interesting, especially for people involved in YouTube. Now we have to sort of make videos and then put a chronometer afterwards, watch our videos and then time it ourselves or stuff like that. Yeah, can't be the idea. We need a result screen after each of the race, no matter which vehicle we did, no matter which run we did. We should be able to see our time. That is my opinion on it. Other than that, that will be it for now. I will see you guys in the next one, and bye for now.